All right, man. We're live right now on YouTube. And let's get started here. Hey, okay. Hold on a second here. Hey guys, welcome to Creative Entrepreneurship, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs build their business based on successes and failures of other entrepreneurs. Today we have an amazing guest. We're going to be talking about how we can automate your business, track leads, and generate revenue. Please help me welcome Daniel Martinez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. I'm always excited to talk about CRM and ways in which we can improve our business and the software that we can utilize to track leads and generate revenue. And obviously, you've been all over the place, and you've been in real estate, and then your software, and you've been all over the place. You've been an entrepreneur for some time now. Why don't we start out by giving me a little bit of information as to who you are, what you do, and how you help your customers?
Sure. So I've been in entrepreneurship. It'll be coming on 5 years now. I actually was originally a truck driver, used to load trucks, got into trucking, started a trucking company, had 5 trucks at one point. Eventually, not all businesses work out the way you want it to. So I ended up pivoting it into real estate and software. And I've been doing real estate software for the past 3 years. And it's kind of been an amazing journey from here.
Yeah. So, I mean, just out of curiosity, did you learn to do this yourself, or was it self-taught?
I've always been a little bit of a techie, so I've always been experimenting, but by no means am I like a coder or software developer or engineer, not like that. I just always been a little bit techie. I mean, I'm a millennial, so we kind of got that. We got to see the transfer of power.
Versatility. Yeah.
Yep.
Because you don't think about, trucking, software, real estate, but you got your hands in everything. Obviously it's been has it been based out of your curiosity with regard to like how you're like, hey, I'm curious about this. Let me turn it into a business.
Well, trucking was I had a CDL, and I'm like, I know a little bit about trucking. Let's go start a trucking business. So it was based off of something I already knew. And a lot of people, they think like, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And it was kind of based off of the things that were set in front of me. I kind of went down that path. So after doing trucking for 2 years, I was looking for other things to do because it wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. Did I lose you? Okay, here we go. So it wasn't really working for me. And I was looking for ways to pivot, and ended up pivoting into real estate, learned about all that avenues. And then as I got in real estate, other opportunities represented itself to me when I was in real estate. And that's kind of a lot of what I do now.
So you went from trucking to real estate to software. Now, what brought you to like, what brought you to that? Like, what pain in the market did you see that you said, you know what, I've got to resolve this?
That is a great question. And the answer is, it was my pain, because I had my own pain about doing real estate and tracking leads and doing marketing in general. So it was my pain of in the market, starting my own like real estate business. So it was the pain I had. And then I was looking for other opportunities. And like, if everyone is in real estate, there's a big thing called Podio that everybody uses, like the real estate community uses that. One, it's really hard to program. Two, it's really hard to learn. And three, it gets kind of pricey as your business grows. So a lot of those things really affected me, because they have a free version, but like once you start actually using it, it gets pretty hefty. And if you have a small budget, it doesn't really help you at all.
Is this something you developed yourself, or did you have a team to develop it?
So we have a third-party team that does a lot of the integration. So I just kind of do the front end side of sales, marketing, and management of support.
Oh, I see. So because it's expensive to hire teams and software engineers to do this. Did you come up with, is it bootstraps, or did you borrow money, or how did you go about in financing this?
A lot of it was, well, the cool thing about software is that there's products that are already out there, so you can kind of build upon it and make it your own. So that's kind of what we did. So the software is already out there, but they give you the ability to license it and kind of make it your own from there on. So it's kind of, we kind of shortcutted that a little bit.
Oh, okay. So there's similar programs out there. Obviously, you did some research and figured out that there's some problem in the market that needs to be fulfilled. So in this situation, you have leads, you have people who need to track their leads. You have businesses that are able to increase their revenue by being consistently proficient and up to date with their leads, because sometimes what happens is, as a business owner, it's difficult to keep track of your leads. You have leads coming in all the time, and then you have like, okay, should I just put this down on like an Excel spreadsheet, or do I write everything down, put it on a board? And then before you know it, you have all these leads, and you have times that you need to call back and follow up and check to see if it converted, and then all this information starts to pop up, and you're like, oh crap, I can't do this just on a whiteboard. What how does this differ from just doing that for you?
So, and that's a great point. Like, most small businesses don't use a CRM. I think it's like 70% of small businesses don't use a CRM for the first 5 years. So like there's a lot of people like you, and there's a lot of people like me that were in that same boat. So it's one of those things where, think about amplification of time. So if you want to make more money, you have to amplify your time. So if you think of, like, if you had a regular job, $10 an hour, you might, that's all you're worth, right? But if you find a way to amplify time, that's how you can make more money in the marketplace. So what does the amplifying time mean? It means to automate and systematize your outreach and marketing, because if you're a business, you need to be doing marketing. So most people think, well, I have a cleaning business, I'm a cleaning business. I'm like, no, when you start a cleaning business, you have to think of yourself as a marketing company, because if you can't market, you're not going to be able to bring in clients to make money anyway. So you have to kind of flip the switch on, like, I'm a marketing company, I'm a marketing company, I'm a marketing company. No matter what niche you're in, you're a marketing company first, because you have to bring in leads. So what does that look like? Well, you have to bring in leads, you have to convert the leads and get testimonials, which you can use testimonials to get more clients. So it's like the big triangle of business: clients, leads, referrals, and testimonials, which will lead back to more clients. So you kind of have to resolve that whole part of a business. And if you're doing it on a spreadsheet, it's hard to follow up with a person. If you're doing this on your phone, calendar, like, you can get overwhelmed by the disorganization that you don't have in your organization. So what a CRM does is it helps you coordinate, track, automate your marketing materials to convert more leads. So imagine if you have a water company. Everybody needs to drink water. Everybody in the world needs to drink water. But you can do it one of two ways. You can sell it in the corner on the street vendors, no offense to the street vendors, but there's a way to automate that business where you can actually, everybody needs to drink water. You can create an ad. You can text, call, or people that need water. Hey, you need water today? Go to my website, check out, and it will ship it to you. Now you can infinitely scale, because you're in multiple markets and multiple places on the internet, on the web, to reach more people, versus on a street corner where you're only reaching the car count.
So those are the steps that you can take on this with the CRM. You can create an ad, generate the lead, follow up with your lead, and convert it somehow.
Yeah, so we have automations between texting and emailing that's all built in-house. So you can set up call systems, text systems, opt-in systems. So like, I always do it. I've done this on stage before. So I'm like, what does business automation looks like? Well, business automation is a little call to action for everybody here. You can text 210-972-1842. Just text the keyword course, and you'll get to put in automations to get notified of what we do.
Oh, I see. That's amazing. So CRM, and you said that like less than 70% of the people?
70% don't use a CRM in the first 5 years of business.
For 5 years. Okay. So I recently started using or utilizing a program that helps me track not just leads, follow-ups, but also the money, the revenue that comes in. Is this something similar that might assist with that? Because a lot of the things that I was running into initially was scheduling, following up with leads, getting the financial records in place, and making sure that everything is up to par with not just how you're billing people and how you're obtaining money or generating revenue, but also keeping track of that, making sure that like if I send out a $2,000 estimate and then it converts to an invoice, I'm collecting the $2,000. Now I have the work orders open. And how did that lead come to be? How do I follow up? And so all the information that I need to make sure that all those steps are taken are utilized through this type of CRM. Is that something similar to what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so we integrate with Stripe and QuickBooks, so we can actually send out invoices to collect payments, And then you can set up like notifications. Like if somebody doesn't pay an invoice, you can send them. You can automate a text reminder. Hey, you didn't pay your invoice. Here's a link to pay. So, and then you can set up payments. So a lot of everything that I do, like I've done 2 events and I've ran it all through our system. The website, payment collection, SMS and email notifications when they purchase, and then deliverability of details pertaining to the event. And I've run it all through our system.
And what are some of the benefits that you've seen from people using the system?
Man, so most of our clients, they usually save on average $700 a month. And the way they do that is because most people use an average of 26 different systems to operate their business. But what's a system? You might have an email system, you might have a text system, you might have a website system, you might have a form system, you might have a phone system, your phone itself. You might use Gmail, you might use Yahoo, you might use a tax accounting software, you might use an invoicing platform. All those things are all different systems that don't speak to each other unless you force them to speak to each other in some ways, and not all of them are be able to speak to each other in that way in general. So what this does is kind of brings everything in house, so it's all in under one roof. You can track it and see all your analytics, all your data, link tracking system, everything's there in one system,
Including the marketing side?
Including the marketing side. So we integrate with Google and Facebook. So if you're doing Google or Facebook ads, you can see your analytics inside the dashboard, inside the system.
Oh, I'm gonna have to consider moving over. And does it keep track of your not just your leads, but your clients as well?
Yeah, we have. So that's the other thing. So most systems out there, they like, oh, you can only have, with the minimum data plan, you can have 10,000 contacts. Like we have unlimited contacts. Like you can go crazy with contacts. You can go crazy with users. Most systems will hit you with users. They'll upsell you with users, contacts, contact uploads, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that they limit you on, and they'll try and tax you on in the back end. But us is just unlimited everything. You can go crazy, unlimited contacts, tracking. I was showing one of my clients this the other day, and he runs a car sales business, and I showed him the ability to track links. So you can text and email a trackable link to see who clicks it, and then create an action around that. So if you have a specific call to action and see if they purchase, you can set up automations around that. Hey, we saw you click this, or we saw you're interested in this.
Man, you're way too smart.
And follow up with them, you know?
That's awesome. I love that idea that you can take something from cradle to grave, basically from just one program. And is the ability to track finances on there too?
Yeah, so we have invoicing and estimating out there, and we have an app on Google and Android that you can do this all on your phone.
And so how much does something like this usually run a customer? Or
it depends. So like an SMS platform usually it can cost anywhere from like $150 to $600 that I've seen it. Just SMS. Email platform is going to cost $30 to $60. A website platform is going to cost usually $30 to $100 a month, $150 a month. This kind of brings in all that for $150.
So $150 a month, you have the ability to market your business, generate leads, create invoices and estimates, get paid, I'm assuming.
Get paid. I could go strike.
Oh, that's, you did say strike. Get paid. Is there a booking? Like, can they do
Calendly? Yes, there's an internal calendar system. There's a what was the other thing I was gonna tell you? There's an internal calendar system and a websites. So a lot of people are like, oh, I have a link tree. Go to my link tree in my bio. You can create your own link tree to your own website to control the flow. There's an internal course projection. So if you're using Kajabi or Kartra, you can put your own stuff on your own website so you control the IP.
Wow, that's interesting. And so what about integrating, like, well, you did say you integrated into your website, but how about even further, like blogs and web pages and stuff like that? As far as how does that work?
So the blog feature just came out recently, so you're able to create blogs. Usually, if you're using some other blog, there's like embedded code that you can input into websites. We have the ability to import all that JavaScript, create unlimited web pages. So like if you go to hivemindcrm.io, that's all built on the Hivemind itself. I have a bunch of different landing pages I've created. Anything I created, we have a bunch of templates based on your niche. If you want a barber template or a car sales template, we have all that stuff already there. Just kind of plug in your details and let it go. So a lot of it, and Google My Business too. A lot of people, if you want to be recognized on Google, you got to be Googleable. So you can connect your local business address, your website, and then start collecting Google traffic.
Yeah, I mean,
and Google reviews on automation.
So, I mean, you've come up with all this, and it's just mind-boggling as to how much work seems like it went into this. So you're doing all this research. Do you guys do like any kind of marketing research to figure out what people want, and how are you finding the need for some of these areas of service?
So it's usually user feedback. We get a lot of user feedback to know what we need, what needs to be worked on, and bugs. So a lot of what we do, a lot of what's done in the back end is user feedback from different clients, various clients.
And do you have specific questions that you ask, or is it just a general,
there's a roadmap, and there's people that they can up or down click based off of whatever things they want to, things that are more important based off of things that aren't there.
What do you find that some of your customers or people who are wanting to convert to something like this, what do you find there is the biggest challenge for them?
The biggest challenge is, I think, is learning a new system. Everybody struggles with that. And it's one of those realities that, hey, if you're in business and you want to grow, you have to learn new systems and processes. But this is one of the things that, like, I tell people all the time. I have clients that I tell people, like, once you do something in here, if it works, you don't have to touch it again, because it works over and over again. It's a system. It's not like you have to retrain that person if it breaks. If it works, don't touch it ever again. So I tell people, like, if you only have to learn it once, don't worry about it. So I have clients that, like, the system can be a little bit overwhelming because I want to use it all. I'm like, just find that one thing you needed to work for and then build on that. So I have clients like, I just want to learn texting. So I'm like, okay, this is how you text, and this is how you manage the text and all that stuff. So I had a client who does real estate. He got a contract in 4 days just off of texting. He's been a client for almost a year now. He does not use anything else in the system but texting, but he finds the value in just that one texting component. So I tell people, like, yes, there's all these things that it can do, but find that one thing that makes sense for you to use it, and then kind of build upon that. Because once you understand what it can do, your mind really goes into, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. You kind of get a dog chasing the ball across the park, and you can easily spend and lose a lot of time for that. And I tell people all the time, like, you don't have to learn how to do that, because, like, that's the other thing. I don't want to learn how to do it. Just, if I tell you what to do, can you do it? Like, yeah, we have teams available that, if you understand how it works, or you want certain things done that you've seen that I've done or somebody else has done that uses the system, we can build it for you. And it's not really expensive. It's just one of the things that everything's already there. And a lot of people, some people are like, I want to do it myself and I want to learn. Other people are like, just do it for me. And there's a price point for that.
Do you have like instructional videos, and you have all the necessary information that people might need to learn the system?
Yeah. So there's internal training. There's training videos I created. There's a searchable like workbook inside the system that you can search and look up different things, or screenshots, little videos of how to do certain things inside the system. And then we have tech support. So I manage all my clients through text. So you can actually text the number I said earlier, 210-972-1842. That goes directly to my team. You can ask them any question today, and they'll respond to you via text.
210. Hey, that's San Antonio. No, so what are you most proud of? Like, which service are you most proud of about this service?
The biggest thing I'm proud of, a lot of people, like, they have like their why, like, oh, my why is my family, freedom, and the ability to do what I want. But you have to have a business why, because you have to love what you do for business. So the biggest thing that I love is seeing people accelerate their business. So I had a client that was doing spreadsheets, and most people are on spreadsheets. It is what it is. So most small businesses are on spreadsheets, and that's how they coordinate and track their leads. He switched over to us. He's done 6-figure months probably 2 or 3 times now, and he'll be our first millionaire probably by the end of the year using our product, using our software, and he pays us $149 a month. So it shows the amplification of that you can create with this system.
Do you guys offer like a 30-day money back guarantee? Is it like is there any kind of risk for the first month?
So if you text, I do have a 30-day trial. If you text that course, if you just text the course, you'll get a 30-day trial offer through that funnel, but it's not necessarily on my website.
Nice, nice. Well, we're getting close to the end of the podcast. I think we covered a lot of information in a short period of time. There's a lot of things that I think this software will solve for a lot of business owners. What I should ask. Well, I usually like to ask my guests, if they have any words of wisdom or some rules that you live by. Do you have any of those?
You only get one name, so treat it accordingly.
Nice.
And do things the right way.
Nice. Yes. One name, do things the right way. I like it. Do it once and you don't have to do it again. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How can our listeners get a hold of you?
So we're literally at Hive Mind CRM on every platform you can think of. If there's a way to post content, we're there. We have a podcast called the Hive With Us Podcast Network. We produce a lot of shows on there. HiveMindCRM.io. And then we do a lot of land stuff. So if you're interested in doing real estate, we help you with that. But if you just need help on the business side, we help you with that too. So depending on what you're looking for, we'll be able to help you. Hive Mind CRM on Facebook too. Facebook group.
Awesome. But there you go, guys. Daniel Martinez, it's a pleasure having you on the show today. You're an inspiration to me and our listeners. So glad to have had you on the show today.
No problem, man. Thanks I hope people find value, and hopefully we'll make another 6-figure earner out of one of the listeners.
For sure. There you go, guys. Daniel Martinez. It was a pleasure having him on the show today. Be sure and check out all his information. It's going to be in the show notes. Check out creativeentrpreneurship.net for all of our articles. Check out creativeentrpreneurship.net and TCE Podcast for all of our social media. Be sure and subscribe there. TCEpodcast.net. And until next week, keep on keeping on.